Hey guys, I was really hoping that there would be a way that we could one-shot Grave Ward on Mayhem Mode 4. We could do it really easily on Mayhem Mode 3, but with 4, their health is increased by 850%. I honestly didn't think there would be a way to do it, but there actually is, and huge shout out to Honda Riders, he put this footage together for me right here. Grave Ward is still the best farming boss because he has no shield, and yeah, you can one-shot him, and on Mayhem Mode 4, he's going to drop more anointed gear. The setup for this is pretty close to the setup for Mayhem Mode 3. There's just a couple of things that you need to know if you want to try this. And obviously you don't need to walk in and one-shot him, but this gear is going to get you in a very powerful situation where you can farm him pretty easy. This build is using flak, but there's probably a way to set it up for all characters. And the first thing you will need for this is a Burning Scourge Torgue rocket launcher. It does fire elemental damage. If you've seen my previous video about one-shotting Grave Ward, then you'll know that yeah, this is going to be a crit switch setup. So you're going to be firing the Scourge rocket launcher, and then you'll be switching to a weapon that has a really high critical hit damage. And the Unforgiven Jacob's pistol is what you're going to want. You'll find one with plus 300 to 400% critical hit damage. In addition to that, you're going to be using another weapon. So this is going to be a 3-weapon switch setup. The third weapon that you're going to need is the legendary Sellout Maliwan pistol. And this one's going to give you plus 100 splash damage radius, and that's what you want. You need to be able to damage yourself because that's going to increase the damage that you deal out. Now there are other Maliwan pistols that will do splash damage, but they take a little while to charge up and then shoot and then damage yourself. And this one does not take any time to charge up. You can instantly shoot yourself, and that's what you need to be able to quickly switch to this gun, damage yourself, and then switch over to the Jacobs. There's going to be a mission that you do on the Ambermire map called Sellout, and when you complete it, it will give you this legendary pistol. The next thing you're going to need is a legendary artifact, or an artifact that will do damage boost of 90%, and this will say 183% if you're offline, so just be aware of that. This one here is called a Elemental Projector Splatter Gun, and this one's going to work with the Sellout pistol. You're going to be damaging yourself, and while you take that damage, you will increase the damage that you do by 90%, or 183% if you're offline, but you do not have to be offline and gain that extra damage to be able to one-shot Grave Ward. The next thing you're going to need is a class mod. This one here is Bounty Hunter, and it's giving plus 18% weapon critical damage and plus 45% Jacob's weapon critical damage. The only thing that's really important here that you want to find is a plus 45% Jacob's weapon critical damage. That's what's going to boost that Unforgiven pistol, and it's a must for this setup. The last piece of equipment that you're going to want is a Rerouter shield. This says when fully charged, the next shot drains 50% shields to deal 120% bonus amp damage. So when you fire off that rocket launcher, it's going to drain your shield to 50%, and then those rockets that are going towards Grave Ward will have 120% bonus amp damage. The last thing you want to do is set up your skill trees, and this is going to be geared towards critical hits, and this build is only using the green stalker tree and the red hunter tree. There's nothing on the blue tree. So just focus on these skills right here, and then make sure you have Fade Away on as the action skill. Now you don't have to use Fade Away to one-shot him, but sometimes there are modifiers in the Mayhem Mode 4 lobby that will require you to do it. So I'll go over a couple of things that are important in one-shotting Grave Ward. So obviously right here we're on Mayhem Mode 4, and you want to have the rocket launcher out first, and then you want the Sellout next, and then the Unforgiven after that. So they need to switch in that order. So when you first drop in, you want to get to the front of the platform, and then go ahead and fire the rocket launcher. Quickly look down and fire a shot at your feet. Now it's important that you shoot your feet and damage yourself before that platform starts to tilt, because once you tilt, you're not going to be able to damage yourself. Right after you damage yourself, then quickly switch to the Jacob's pistol, and then the rocket launcher, and the amount of critical hit damage that you're doing should do the rest of the work. There is one thing you want to watch out for in these Mayhem Mode 4 lobbies, and it's the modifiers. If you have one like this lobby does right here, where it lowers your critical hit damage, then it will affect you. This one is a minus 25% critical hit damage, and you can see right here, firing the rocket launcher, damaging yourself, switching to the Jacobs should take care of his entire health bar, but you can see he's left with almost 25%, and there is a way to fix this, and what you got to do is basically go in with Fade Away at that point. That's going to give you that extra boost to get you over that deficit. With Fade Away, you can do 3 shots before you come out of Fade Away, so you've got the first shot as the Scourge rocket launcher, and then you've got 1 to 2 shots with the Sellout pistol to damage yourself, and if you go over that, then yeah, you're gonna come out of fadeaway. But right here you can see that, yeah, this lobby has that 25% deficit. Didn't kill him in the first go around, so gonna go back in with fadeaway, and that should give that extra bonus of damage and should be able to take care of him no problem. And again, that's only if you're wanting to one-shot him. You can definitely easily two-shot him with not as much equipment. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that it is possible to one-shot Grave Ward on Mayhem Mode 4. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you next video.